telling me I can get the world's best bourbon for only 56 bucks? I need a fancier Glen than this. Welcome back to another episode of Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and today we've got another bottle review for you guys. And it's a special one because we're talking about the world's best bourbon. Now, this bottle actually won this award back in 2017 from Whiskey Magazine. And I just gotta say, I've been living in Virginia my whole life, and the best bourbon in the world's been made right down the street from my house. Dang. Who's going to Kentucky? Everybody needs to be coming to Virginia. Obviously, we make the best bourbon in the world on earth. We're talking about the John J. Bowman Single Barrel. And just like in the intro, I need a fancier Glen to review such a highly awarded bottle. I have a fancier Glen, and I'm super glad that stayed there because that is not stable. Oh, man. So, anyways, guys, so the John J. Bowman Single Barrel, this bottle's made right down the street, right outside of Fredericksburg, Virginia, about 45 minutes north of Richmond, just to get your bearings straight. John J. Bowman is owned by the Sazerac Company, which also owns Buffalo Trace. So all of the rumors are that Bowman actually sources their distillate from Buffalo Trace, and it's actually then just run through another column still here in Virginia, which is how they get the name Virginia-made bourbon. So anyways, again, single barrel coming in at 100 proof. That's awesome. Pick this up at my local store for $56.99. Came out to like $59.31, not to be exact, but that's exactly how much I paid for this bottle. So great deal. When these do hit the shelves, they're usually around for about a couple days and then they're gone. But we do get a fair amount of them, around here. So that's pretty nice. But anyways, I want to go ahead and get into the nose on this. I mean, it's the best bourbon in the world, right? You're getting a lot of like vanilla sweetness. There's not nearly as much like red berryness as you show here on the nose off of this. You do kind of get a fair amount of spice. And honestly, you're picking up a little bit of oak if you put your nose deep down there in the glass, but it has a little bit of green apple in there. It definitely has the fruity undertones, but it's coming more so from apple and like cinnamon. Yeah, and like that little bit of oakiness in there as well. But yeah, I mean it's a solid nose though. Like digging it, very very robust, pungent, coming out of this glass. This is like a little mini Glen. I don't know. Maybe it's bigger than this one. I don't know. What do you think? It's a scotch smaller, but not quite the size of a mini Glen. I got these in a tasting kit for Christmas, like 5 years ago. So like, still have them. Don't drink out of them that much. But again, best bourbon in the world. Gotta have a fancy Glen. Anyways, let's get off to the palate. Cheers. Man, that is good. Yeah, so the 100 proof is great. Getting like basically no ethanol at all on that. That was, my first sip of bourbon of the day. The first thing that kind of hits you like right up front, which I wasn't getting on the nose, was that red berry sweetness, like that red berry and like a little like chocolatey oak there in the mid palate, like super like chocolate, but you're getting a lot of like that barrel spice influence from there. Now keep in mind this is a single barrel, so like there are going to be different because every barrel is going to be slightly different. But I have had multiple of these, throughout the years, a bunch of them, and they're all been, really good in my opinion. Yeah, again, like that vanilla, like a little that butterscotch now. Yeah, it's like apple. It's like vanilla butterscotch, yeah. Yeah, I mean that butterscotch on like the nose is like I got that note down right now because like I had just been, tasting some of, like the Victor's Toasted Barrel Rye. That one's got a big butterscotch flavor. That Maker's Mark 46 cask strength, so like that double oaked one, that's got a big butterscotch. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting like that note on this. Definitely a lot more faint than on those double oaks, but again, that is the sweetness. Yeah, hints of apple though. Man, that is just wow. I mean, it tastes like very much so like reminiscent of like an E.H. Taylor, which funniest thing about it tasting like an E.H. Taylor is, let's see. Yeah, Virginia really needs to start doing some more drops because, almost out. And I love this bottle, and I don't get them all the time, so like they really need to start doing some more drops so I can have an opportunity to get another one of these E.H. Taylor small batches. Yeah, so just right away on the nose, like the nose matches the palate on this. What I was saying about like that robust red cherry sweetness. This is, the Taylor's definitely smells spicier, on the nose, and like that the red berry sweetness is jumping straight out of this glass, which again this one was more like vanilla butterscotch with like a hint of apple, so still fruitiness, still sweet, which is same like this E.H. Taylor, but the sweetness is coming from a red berry in this one. Wow, yeah. I don't know, first sip that kind of tasted thin compared to this. Like the red berry sweetness, just like the palate, was a little thin. Oh yeah, I mean, this is definitely takes the cake. The flavors are just amped up. They taste wildly similar, honestly, between like the red berry sweetness profile with like a little bit of like that chocolatey spicy oak there on the finish, and then with some more sweetness of like that red berry. But the red berry kind of like stays throughout the whole palate. Man, so we know that the John J. Bowman takes the cake on the small batch. What about the single barrel? Now, I really was not planning on doing this when I first started filming this video, but hey, here we are. So I want to go ahead and get this small batch out of the way. Again, profiles very similar on the small batch and the John J. Bowman. The John J. Bowman was just amped up. Pour a little bit into there. Because these bottles for me are incredibly rare. I never get them. By never, I mean I've never gotten one in a store before. I've only been able to get them via trade, so that's pretty cool, I guess. If you can get them, congratulations, because I've been doing this for like 7 or 8 years pretty seriously and haven't, so yeah, so the single barrel is incredibly similar to, with that E.H. Taylor, but like I feel like that oak spice level is kind of like amped up a little bit. A little more pungent on the nose, like that cherryness is still there. And yeah, I mean, just coming back. Again, like it's like more like butterscotchy apple, maybe a little bit more cherry starting to come out in the nose, but it is not like that spicy, dense, like punch you in the face. Like I'm getting off this E.H. Taylor. This one seems to be a little bit sweeter. I mean, this one seems to be like a little bit sweeter with the apple and on the oak spice. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the palate on the single barrel. Yeah, the viscosity on the single barrel is amped up a little bit over that small batch. That red cherry sweetness is definitely amped up as well. And with like that oaky spice there. Like I never have thought like these E.H. Taylor like single barrels. Well, I haven't drank enough of the single barrel to say, but the small batch, I never really thought of them as being like wildly complex You know, I think you get a strong cherry with like kind of like that cinnamon oak chocolatey spice there in the middle, with again like the red berry following up through the finish. I just really enjoy that pour because like the spice level on it is just so high, like the barrel spice that you get, like that oaky barrel spice. I just really love it. Just why, yeah, God, like the butterscotch in this is just so dense. Wow. I mean, anyways, let's get back to the palate. Yeah. So the sweetness is all there. So like that red, that cherry, red berry, whatever you want to call it on the Buffalo Trace. Definitely not a grape in my opinion from these, but this is definitely more so of a cherry sweetness there. This one is way more vanilla heavy, whereas, yeah, I don't know, I might nod it to this one. Yeah, it goes from like that cherry to like that spice level that I was just talking about how much like I really enjoy that in the small batch. That spice, how it just kind of like sizzles on the tongue a little bit. God, just that oaky barrel spice, and then it kind of, which is kind of vanilla there on the mid palate, and then like that cherry rides all the way through. That is very similar to what I'm getting on the John J. Bowman single barrel, but this is just like a well-rounded, like velvety sweet all the way through. It doesn't have the same level of barrel spice like I was getting in the single barrel. I know I said it originally that I was getting like that barrel spice off of this one initially, but then after coming to the single barrel, it really muted it out over here. But anyways, I think these are all fantastic pours. You know, for $56, you can't go wrong with this bottle. And I mean, I get it. It's like very difficult to find other places, but you know, here in Virginia, like it's not impossible. So like, you know, a lot of people in Kentucky have access to like so many things that like I'll never be able to get my hands on. So like, I'll take my one little gem, you know, that we have, you know, here in Virginia. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, would you please leave me a comment? Have you had the John J. Bowman single barrel? Have you compared it to any of the E.H. Taylor line? Do you agree with my opinion that I think the E.H. Taylor single barrel might have bested this one here, but I definitely think that the John J. Bowman single barrel beats out the small batch. Those are just my thoughts and opinions. This is a screaming value, you know, all day long, like sub $70. I mean, you got to pick it up if you see it. I mean, I would. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. As always, this is Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner. And pop the bottles and share the pours. And we'll see you in the next one.